Martin from the angle. Oh, yes!
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Lockout podcast. I'm host Josh, coach and captain of the Young and the Gold. I'm here with Hawko.
That's right. I'm Hawko, manager of the Dark Brotherhood. And as you can see, once again, the
Cash Gen King is not here.
Cash
and
Gen
it's
King.
Proxy here, leader of Juckfosh FC,
Worst
the greatest
name
team name on the podcast.
Oh.
And we're here to do a preview for next round 10 of
We are.
the 2025 AFL season.
We are here to look at round 10 of the 2025 AFL season. But before we do, fantasy season.
On a fantasy
But before
season.
we do that, we always like to look back at
The week before.
the week before.
The week that was.
And who might have scored the best or who might not have scored the best, and go from there.
And we've got
Yeah.
Ryan.
Well, as you can
not
tell,
here.
because Ryan's not here, he's obviously feeling quite bad about his score, so he couldn't join us
He's
today.
feeling very bad about his score.
But no, have we got his stuff there? Ryan obviously, unfortunately, didn't.
I've got Ryan's score here. So
got
he bottomed out, went from the penthouse to the shit house,
Oh.
as he likes to say. Actually,
He does
I'm
like
using
to
his
say
own
that.
using his own line here. But he did a 1974 for the week, which dropped him 2K in rank down to 32,529.
That's not a bad drop when you didn't even score a 2,000. That's
Well,
Yeah.
not
everyone
too bad.
else, we were just talking off here, everyone else had a bad week this week. And so lots of captains and vice captain options didn't do too well. So I think that's probably why it's not been
Yeah.
Yeah.
a bigger drop there for him. Lucky
Okay.
him. He went up to 22.5 mil.
How much did he
And
make?
that was 320K increase for the week there.
Oh,
for him.
320. Nice.
Yeah, so pretty standard. I think he should be pretty happy with that.
I think pretty happy for a pretty poor week from
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
players. So, yeah.
Yep. I am next, unfortunately. Ryan's not here, so I'll take over this week. If only I had 22 players playing, and I did my captains right, maybe I would have had a better score.
Oh, so you're
But,
making the excuses.
Again,
Ryan's not here.
Oh, okay.
yeah, because he would have said something. And I was
Yeah.
thinking that coming into this
Yeah.
week.
So, yeah, I only had 21 players playing. I was asleep, unfortunately, and didn't
Jesus,
realise that Short was out. So, kind of didn't do too well there. Only scored a 20-22. And unfortunately with that, drops me out of the top 20,000. I'm at 20,883. And even in my cash gen, I didn't even do that well. I only made 285,000 for the week. Who's next?
There's lots of talk going around about a hard lockout on a Saturday. Would you be a fan of that then, Hawko?
No,
No?
doesn't bother me.
Doesn't
No.
bother.
Doesn't
Okay,
bother.
perfect.
I was
There you go.
unlucky. Yeah,
AFL fantasy.
it's unfortunate.
So it would be me next. So I did not top score this week. I had a 2076. So bit of a disappointing one with some of my bench.
I feel like that's your worst score of the
Yes.
year, nearly. Fuck.
Nah,
I think I've had that
In the buy rounds, he's had
Oh, true.
an 18 or a 19. Yeah.
But yeah, 2076 was not ideal. It took me out 700 ranks, so I'm at 6823. So I can't crack that 5,000 yet, but that's okay.
It's eluding you, man. I don't know if you will. I don't know if you
Yeah.
will get there. It's
No,
like
I will.
You will?
I will.
Good. I like
I
it.
will.
Good confidence.
Now I have worked out my cash gen this week correctly. It's not taking me up by 800,000, but I've gone up 358,000 this week in terms of cash gen, and my team value at the moment is sitting at 23.236 million.
Jeez.
So I think that's in a good place. But
Hey, you took over Cash King.
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I think it's in a good place. But maybe let us know where your
much did
cash,
you go up in cash,
your team
though?
values 358k.
Yeah, so you went over him. Good work. Nice.
But yeah, let us know where your team value is sitting. It's early in the season. You want to be converting those cash rookies into points on field, but
Yeah.
your team value might be going really high. You might be struggling. Let us know.
Would like you to, if a good kind of starting point, if you're doing okay, or at least you'd want to be 22, at least over 22 million.
23,
now.
I think you need to.
20. Well, you're in top 5,000. 23. If you're not quite as good, 22 and a half, let's say.
Okay.
22 and a half. Let's
North
give
of
some-
22 and a half.
22 and a half.
I don't think we need to be this technical on it.
Yeah, come on, jeez.
Anyway,
Anyway, Croxy, you're
Croxy,
the
you were
leader.
the top scorer.
Yeah,
let's
so
see it.
take us through.
first time for the season,
Hey,
probably
well
the
done.
last as well.
He's
Nah,
he's
in a-
always the bridesmaid, you know?
Yeah, that's what you said last week.
Yeah.
I actually listened back to the podcast this
did.
afternoon and I was like, he did say that. It's like Mikel Arteta in the Premier League.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so not a great score this week. I think everyone had a pretty off round. Did 2,100 exactly. And that put me up to 25,000.
But see, there you go. You had an average score, but you went up. So it was a pretty average round.
My last 2 weeks was 50 points higher and went up still. So
good.
That's how you know.
How many ranks did you go up?
Went up 3,351.
Okay, so a 2,100 got you 3,000 points up. Okay, ranks up.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay, good to know.
In the cash gen, I went from what did I go from last week? I was 2202. So I went up 282k. Jesus, lots of twos, and that puts me at 22.23. Sorry.
Holy hat. Take a breath. You're not used to being at the top. I know.
Yeah,
It's uncomfortable. Like, just breathe. Say it again.
There's lots of twos.
Yeah, there is.
222, Richie. Yes, so I've gone up to 200.
I think let's.
Where is
keep going. Keep going.
22.306
I
million.
need a water.
Read it out for him. Fucking hell.
All right. Maybe I'll just go again.
No, keep it in.
It's 22.306 million.
Okay, cool.
Team value. So, and it says, shit, she's drying up.
Yeah, that is for my cash gem, which was only 282.
Okay.
There's still more twos. But yeah.
It's late. It's late here.
Average week and still went up rank and yeah.
All right.
Well
Let's go
done.
for the
Well,
pod.
welcome to the top. What that means is that you get to help us with the next segment leading
Yes.
off. So
Your
we
favourite.
are now going to have a look at our Brownlow votes.
Yeah.
And kind of give a bit of a calculation as to where we're at, who we've voted for. Ryan has been nice enough to send his through, so we can give you those as well.
Croxy goes. The
But
starter queen down the
let's
end can
start
go
at the
first
top.
this time.
And now
Yeah.
just make sure it has no twos in it.
Yeah, well,
because,
there's not.
when
There's
you get to
actually
two
not.
votes, just breathe.
Yeah.
Holy.
There's no
All right.
twos.
Who's three?
We've
Who's
got
three?
Bailey Smith for free because, 149 for the week. That's the top score.
Yeah.
You can't go past that. Fuck me. He was one of the best caption options out there and I didn't pick him, but went with Whitfield instead. So,
But that's all right. So 149, Smith for 3 votes.
Yeah.
Done.
I also am going to follow you in there. So that's my 3 votes for Mr. Baz Smith.
Me too as well.
I feel
There we
like
go.
everyone has him and Ryan also has him.
So-
So that was a 3 for him too.
Wow.
There we go. So just like that, he's gone 12 votes.
Yep.
I mean,
So he must be
incredible.
pretty close to the top.
He's on 40 votes. He's well in the front.
Jesus.
Second, 2 votes. Who's 2 votes? Croxy, you want to go again, mate?
Yeah, I've got the showdown medalist. So Connor Rosé
Connor
with
Rosé.
1-2-2
Good
there.
option. Yeah.
Losing team, but like kicking ass there. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yep. Josh?
Have you got Rosie as well?
No, not
No.
any of my votes.
Okay, amazing. Whoa. What? Yep. Sheesh. Okay. My 2 votes is going to go to you, Mr. Zach Reed. Your 118 has come through
Hey.
absolutely clutch for me down back. Massive thank you as a Bomber supporter and as a owner in AFL Fantasy. Well done with the 118.
So I went Liberatore. with the
Oh,
140.
shit.
Yeah. So he gets the 2 votes for me. He's the only one getting votes. So I'm the only one giving him votes on this podcast. So I'll give him the
And
votes somewhere.
he'd probably have a heap of votes because you've given out a few times.
No, he's only on 5. Anyway, Ryan, who did he go for 2?
Ryan went for Rosie as well. I think
Rosie
he
as
seems
well.
to be copying my votes.
He's not even here and he's copying your shit.
I know.
Stop
How-
him. Stop him, Crossy. Stop him. Following on from you, though, Josh, 2 votes to Zach Reed.
Yes.
I've followed it up with, as you know, I like to give the rookies
The
one
rookies
vote.
get some love.
Zach Reed gets 1 vote from me, 118. Well, not really a rookie. He's been around 5 years, but he's finally getting game.
Yeah,
so
I
it's
mean,
good
the
for
first
him.
time in his career he's played a
not
month in a row.
injured,
yeah.
So,
Jeez. Anyway, though, Josh, who'd you go for your 1 vote?
yeah,
for
my
Zach
1
Reed?
vote, Mr. Tristan Jerry. Bringing it home on the Sunday as the captain. 116 was greatly appreciated. So, Tristan Jerry, thank you.
Well done.
Yeah, nice.
Croxy, or do you want to do Ryan, or do you? Because I'm sure Ryan's probably copied you.
Yes, so I got Zach Reed, and you're right, he did copy me. 118 there. Zach Reed.
Mate, look at the man
Yeah.
polled in every one.
Yeah.
Now, he's got more votes than Liberatore.
He does actually now. No, wait, the same. They're the same.
The
They're the same. But yeah, well done to Zach Reed, having a good week for, well, not for once, but he's having quite a good.
No,
month.
he's put together a good month of footy, and I think that's why he's probably going to be paid a fair bit of cash when it comes to contract time. But they're our Brownlow votes. So what we've scored, obviously what Ryan shared as well. Now, Hawko, you mentioned this a little bit earlier. That the rev up, the flop of the week paid off because Libba went 140 and he's earned your 2 votes there. So, Nick, why don't you take us through your flop of the week?
Yes.
Let the listeners know, hey, where's the rocket balloon? Who needs to
know as well? So,
well, we don't want players hating us, so maybe let's just.
I'll save that for me. I've got a little segment to still rip some players, so it's fine. You just.
I mean, from the last week with Tom
Gently.
Lutatore, I just want to, maybe keep it on the same page there.
Well, fire up.
Well, yeah. So
let's do it.
Jordan Dawson.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing, mate? You've gone and got a 78 in Derby at home. What is going on?
But he got tagged.
I mean, it wasn't a hard tag, was it?
Yeah,
It was Miles Bergman.
Miles Bergman outscored him, tagging him, and got 40.
He got 112
more.
Miles Bergman and Jordan. You've got 76. What the actual fuck?
Crocs is in disbelief there. Holy, okay.
How does a guy that's tagging you get like 50 on you almost?
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting one. But yeah, the Berg did a number on him, let's face it. And instead of, he usually kicks like 2 or 3 goals a game in order to get his score quite high. So
he also touches the ball by the looks of it. He didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right. Do we want to do Ryan next? Because he's
go Ryan.
Yeah, let's
Did he
do
follow
Ryan.
you in this as well?
He didn't give us an audio message, but I'm sure he's given us the flop of the week.
Yeah, well, I almost went this one, but he's gone with Caleb Daniel. And so small potato, as Josh likes to call him, he sounds like he's out of Ryan's team this week.
Ryan's had enough.
Which is interesting because he's playing Ryan's team this week. And so Ryan must think his team's going to keep him scoring these scores that he has in the last few weeks.
I think he's forgotten who they're versing. So
yeah.
Caleb Daniel, though, that was his first mate. He's done that a bit this year.
He gets 350s in a row.
He gets one. Somebody on his team gets a bloody flop of the week, and he wants him out the door immediately. So and he's doing it.
Yeah, he's a bit hasty, isn't he? He's the definition of throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Jeez.
Like he gets a little bit ticked off, and no, he's done.
Then he might change it because he said TDK was out the door for him last week.
Potentially.
So anyway, though, Josh, who have you got?
Yeah, look, this one hurts, except that it doesn't. Okay,
it's not Caleb Daniel.
It could be me. Honestly, I could be the flop of the week.
Well, we're lucky we can't give it to ourselves. Let's be honest.
In the spirit of that, not being able to give it to Nick Dacos.
Nick,
yeah, not me. Not
Nick.
me.
Yeah,
Nick Dacos.
Not you, Nick. Let's just have a quiet word, okay? There's one thing to have an off game, and that's okay. Maybe not when everyone's VC is riding on you on Thursday night, but that's neither here nor there.
But he had so many people out.
But Nick had to travel.
But Nick had to travel. But Nick, between us, your hip's not sore, your groin's not sore, your pec's not really that sore, is it? It was just that you got a bit of attention, you didn't quite like it.
Someone running around for once.
Yeah, running around, you're doing what you want. It didn't seem to work this time.
Did he try and take a contested mark?
Oh, I don't know. But
did.
You know what? He
nearly got one. Nearly.
He probably doesn't know what a contested mark is.
He doesn't.
Nick, please, let's not play this bullshit game. You're not hurt. Your pec's not sore, okay?
We'll see you this weekend.
We'll see you this weekend. You'll probably come out and drop a 120. And if you don't, just know that every fantasy owner is going to hate you because we know
disappointed. It's hate. Okay.
Yeah, hate you because we paid a lot of money for you, and you're not bringing what you need to be. So
you're not
Nick,
bringing the goods.
This one's for you, but pick it up,
lift,
if you will.
Jeez. All right. Well, that leaves me and Stakos for me as well, and I don't really need to say more. I think
Jacos?
Nakos.
Oh, Nakos.
So I don't need to say more. I think
I
Josh
think
kind
you
of
do.
covered it. No. Instead of blowing up like you did a little bit there, what I will do is I will.
You've got a new segment.
Well, that little segment that we touched in last week kind of fired up Tom Lutatore a little bit. So I've got a few more players here that kind of shut the band 2 weeks in a fucking row. What are we doing? At least 2 in a row? Sort your shit out, people. You ready for this? Here we go. Clayton Oliver, you're fucking tagging. What are you doing? I know it's probably the coach's fucking job, him telling you what to do. You maybe headspace isn't right. You're not looking great. Your hair's looking a mess. I don't know what your problem is. you can do better. You're owned by 20% of the goddamn leagues. 2 weeks in a row, you've lost money. Sort your shit out. Next, Jai Simpkin. You were looking great at the start of the year. Your team wasn't looking as great. Minus 34K. He is 12% owned, so not quite as many, not hurting as many people, but 3 weeks in a row. Sort your shit out. Jack Sinclair. Fuck, he's starting to piss me off, mate. 3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row, owned by 16% of the league, and it's dropping fast. I think it was 20% last week. Sorry, 16. I apologize, Jack. There's one apology for me this year because you're sucking. Sort your shit out, mate. Minus 32K. Small potato. The midget.
Jesus.
The
It's a bit
useless
savage.
clown that you are. What are you doing? Minus 32K. You're owned by 60% of the league. I get it. You've made us money. Maybe I'll be a little bit nicer. But that's 3 weeks in a row. So I'm not going to be nice because I can't be because I gave it to Liberatore last week. So I'm not going to hide you in any high regard because you're more useless than him. Sort your shit out. And I've only got 4 this week, so we're fine. We can move on.
Perfect.
Do you know, that's the most.
It's a hard act to
that's
follow.
the most passion and energy I've seen you bring, and I'm here for it. So thank you so much. That week off has really energized you going into these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it has. So I think I like this new segment. So this will be a good outlet.
Fantastic.
What are we going to call it? Have we sort your shit out?
Useless clowns of the week. I don't know.
Sort your
Sort
shit
your
out.
shit- I think sort your shit
sort
out
your
is
shit out.
good. It's got a bit of a gazy feel to it though.
He seems to like saying
Turn
it
it
as
up.
well. Like, so yeah, turn it up.
Sort your shit out.
All right, we've got trades that we can go into.
The table shook when you.
It's trembling.
So
Hey, boys, you guys, Nick was too nice. to me,
Yeah.
man. I needed to up it a little bit. So
I'm grateful that you did because I think we all felt it. So
the table felt it.
Yeah,
anyway,
the table felt it as well. But that is sort your shit out.
Yeah.
And now we're going to take a look at trades. Now we're going to sort our shit out and get our teams looking pristine. But before we jump into what we did with our trades, let's have a look at the most traded in
So far this
and the
week.
most traded out. So,
Yep.
Hawko, take us through the most traded in.
All right, so a little bit calmer for me now. So most traded in, we've got the top 5 already. We're on a Wednesday night. Cooper Simpson, who we did mention in our review in the last episode, only a 260K break evens at 2. So as soon as he steps on the field, which he should this week, going to make you some money and hopefully go up to that 300K mark. Projected at a 36, so not too bad there, but we'll see how he goes there. El Hawley, second most brought in so far, -1 break even. I can't trust him. I know a few people obviously are doing the same thing and trusting the gut and hopefully bringing him in. Projected at a 42, but we just don't know. He could be the sub again. He's been used as a sub when he shouldn't have been after his great performance a few weeks ago. Hopefully he maintains that role because that would be good cash gen for anyone that does that there. Nick Martin, as Josh mentioned, I wasn't sure. I thought it was still defensive mid, but it's a defensive forward role, which is amazing. So I kind of get it. 991K.
Yeah.
93 projected 93 break even with a 98 projected. So should realistically be right, but has had a couple of down games this year, but hopefully should be
That's
good.
a couple of bombers in there. That as the fantasy traders out there hit their heads, or
I don't know. Well, Lewis Hayes, they need to bomber for a bomber kind of thing. So Tom Green, though, and we did mention this guy, he has finally, now's the time to pull the trigger, or even a couple of weeks ago would have been the time. 1.04 million, break even of a 98, projected at a 99. But he's been killing that the past 4 to 6 weeks since he's come back off that injury in 1 week to get back into things. Definitely an option if you can bring this man in. Next man, who I've mentioned a few times over the year, now is finally back and raring to go. Matthias Philippou got the 73 last week back for his first game of the season. 662K with that mid-forward status. Projected at break even of 67. Projected at a 62. That could be that's a fair projection, but I think he will do more than that. So anyone that does bring him in will be fine.
if he gets the role, he's going to score way above that.
Exactly. But before we get into most traded out, let me go back to the week before, which I don't mind doing. Rankin made money, who was the 5th most brought in, only 5K, not bad. Lorenz, 4th most traded in last week, didn't play.
Yeah.
So that kind of hurt anyone that did that. Max Gorn, me and Nixie, we all called that. We did well. We didn't think he'd play that well against Meek, who had been having a quietly defensive good matchup against other ones. 43K, did well. Petrarca made the 22K, and Boxall, even though he only scored a 38, still made 39K for owners there that brought him in, and was the most traded in player last week. So good for him.
Yep.
Croxy, you got most traded out. If you want to go over that real quick.
Yeah, mate. We've got Riley Bice, so people heeding
moving
what,
off now. Yeah.
heeding what Josh was saying there with the Sydney Swan there. He's out the door for a lot of people this week. And then we've got Small Potato. He's coming up a lot this podcast. So he is out the door, 809K. What did he drop this week? You've got that there, Josh, do you?
He dropped 32K.
32K, yep.
Yep.
Sorry, next up we have...
now's the time to do it for a 14 because you got Petrarca that you could go to, Philippou down, Nick Martin's another one to go up to. So I suppose there are a few options now that you could do. So maybe now is the week to do it. So,
and there's options to go down, but there's also options to go up because you can bring in the Petrarcas and that sort of thing into your forward line. So he represents a launch pad, but you definitely want to be going up.
Yeah.
Next one down is Xavier Lindsay. So again, another one that's heads on the chopping block there.
Mid-year now, all those mid-rookies are starting to go out the door, are they? Okay.
Yeah, he scored a 44 last week and he's projected to do a 58. His break-even's 60, so his average is also 59. So he's around that
right there.
time to go.
That's the time. That's good. That's great statistics.
And then you've got Clary Oliver. So he did a 41 and you gave him a bit of a rev up there. And
I mean, realistically, he should have been out the door 2 weeks ago when he was out for that 1 week.
I think that's when I got him out. And I'm just getting him here. What did he go down? He went down 49, for the week.
49K, yeah.
His break even is now at 134, projected to do a 96, and he's averaging 90. So, out the door, I think is good for him.
Yeah.
The very last one on the list here is Jaden Short. So I think some people maybe pulling the trigger a little early on this one because
they might have had the same thing. They had no coverage. And
they're like,
screwed me, get out the door then.
No, but probably not because he is listed as test. And they have said that they will test him on Sunday, and he plays the Sunday 110 game. I think. So
same game as last week.
Yeah, you're leaving yourself in a shit heap if you've got no
if
cover.
I do that again, then I'm cooked. Yeah. Let alone that I honestly think. I mean, we rated him very highly at the start of the season. I don't mean Josh did. I don't know if you did as much as what we did, Croxy.
I was just about to say as well, you do have Saints very last thing on Sunday. So you could maybe, if you can, with DPP, go to a Mateus Philippou potentially.
Yeah.
That could be all right option.
But Short hasn't really lived up to what we were thinking hundreds from him most weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted 1995 as the consistent. And I think he's doing 86.
88, something
88,
like that.
something like that.
So it's not bad from Jaden Short. But again, I expected a little bit more, and some weeks it's been worse. I guess at the same time, what I'm trying to say is his highs haven't been enough for me. I'm wanting 110.
Yeah, there's no the ceilings haven't been there, and that's really concerning.
Yeah.
All
right, what's next? Wait, our trades now. I suppose we can go into.
Yeah.
Have we got Ryan's?
We do have Ryan's.
Okay.
I believe. I think they are up here. They've got, like he said, from the flop. Caleb Daniel out, Saad Al Hawley in.
A bit of cash money made for there. Yeah, what's that? 500K right there.
Yeah, 650, I think.
Yep. You're about right, Josh. I'm a little less 500K, a little less than 500. And the other one, I didn't even know he still had this bloke, but Ted Closey, that is.
He'd be a dead rookie, obviously, that he's trying to move on now. Yeah,
exactly. And so Coleman is in for him, so he's paid up a little bit for that. So one up, one down.
He'll be banking some money there, really, because there's no way there's
a lot of money.
Yeah, so he's banking some money there.
There's 200 in it, so he's banking about 300-ish.
So I guess Ryan's. Well, he's not on the
He's ready for next week
about El Hawley, so maybe hopefully El Hawley plays, but we don't know what's going to happen.
I mean, with the injuries to Essendon, he should be playing.
He should be fine.
Yeah. So let's hope that is the case.
right.
Nick, have you got your trades? Do you want to take us through your trades?
Yeah,
Did you copy him?
I did copy him.
Did you?
No, I didn't. Well, kind of, I guess. But so unfortunately, I got Lewis Hayes in last week, and unfortunately for him, he's injured. So for the year,
did he still make money? Being
he still did. He made 24K. So I mean,
well, at least he didn't lose money.
At least he didn't lose money. And I actually kind of looked at my trades from last week. Both of them worked out for about 60 or 40K each there. So that was nice. And then I've got Coleman in. So slightly copying him, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. At the moment, I've got Caleb Daniel out, but didn't even think about the fact that he's playing Richmond, so that could change this week. I might change him maybe for Davidson. We'll see. And I've got Philippou coming in. So
it could be a straight swap for Davidson, Philippou, or you could go Daniel and make some money depending on like the matchup.
Yeah, and I'm thinking just trying to hopefully go early on the poo and get him out of the role this week. So
it sounds like it's Davidson maybe because Davidson was most traded out last week. So maybe go Davidson, keep Daniel from one more week with the matchup.
Yeah, I think with the matchup,
might be the go. All right, Josh,
my trades, yeah. So I am not 100% set on these trades. Mainly the trade-in upgrade target. So I've traded Riley Bice out of my squad and have Cooper Simpson coming in. So 260K through some DPP there to make that work.
In for you,
and then I'm trading out Sam Davidson. So I'm one of the coaches that is in the most traded out category for Sam Davidson. And I have brought in Lockie Whitfield.
There it is. That's why you're talking about Whitfield, mate.
Yeah, so I'm in two worlds at the moment. Option one is Whitfield. The other option is Zorko. I'm hesitant on a Zorko because of Coleman. But the one I really want is Jack Sinclair. I just want to see it before I do it because, you look at that. That's 300 grand, I think, 250 grand that I can save by going to a Sinclair. And that'll leave me a shitload of money in order to upgrade next week.
But you want to see 1 week of Sinclair.
Do they have West Coast?
I'd kind of want,
They've got West Coast, mate.
Who?
St Kilda.
Oh, you've just
Who did GWS have?
They've got the other West Coast team.
Fremantle.
At home.
Do you know what? Thank you.
Yeah.
Jack Sinclair, welcome to the squad.
Wants his money, that's fair enough. All right, there you go.
Sinclair, welcome into the squad.
All
Man,
right.
if he doesn't pop off, you're going to kill me, aren't you?
Yeah, he probably will. All right, well, while Josh is fixing that up,
what do you call it?
I'll jump into mine. So these, again, are like Josh's. I haven't fully cemented them. I've literally just made changes just before. So, but the
Like
first
all
one
of us, really.
definitely is Jaden Short out. I don't want to risk that again. And like I said, he just hasn't done enough
fed
for me
up,
this year. So, I mean, not bad, but he's kind of holding around that 870 price. So he will go out the door for me. CJ will come in for me. His break even's at 12. He's valued at 600K. I mean, I know it's a tough matchup up north, but he's averaging 100 over the last 3. So even if he gets a 70, 80, I'll be more than happy with that. And he won't only be lasting a few weeks to the buy, and then that'll be the cash gen that I need because I'm kind of lacking in that department. The next one that I've got locked in at the moment, actually, before I go into that one, the one that I'm deciding also instead is I'm looking at bringing in also Kitty Coleman I've got James Leake on the bench who's just been a dead rookie there. So that's kind of the same.
Yeah, I've still got him
as
as
Ryan.
well.
So that's where I was looking for that on. But at the moment, what's locked in, I'm trading out another dead rookie in Joe Berry and bringing in Jackson Binns. So I had this guy at the start of the season and then he had made some mistakes and didn't get picked and just didn't quite cut it. Finally got the break he needed, and I couldn't bring him in last week because I wanted to. Looked really good. Bring him in this week, still valued at under 425,000. So should be all right there. And that's where I'm at.
Nice.
Some good trades.
Yeah. So
Anyone else? Anyone's looking at as well at the moment?
no.
I mean, I can run through a few options.
Yeah.
So in terms of what a lot of coaches are looking at right now is, do you go early on a Philippou? So we've kind of talked through the pluses and minuses of that. He's going to get in the role at some point, so you're kind of going early.
You do what you're doing, maybe go for a Simpson who's shown in one game.
But this is the concern with the Simpson is that like we've brought in all these rookies and I think you need to assess where you're at. But what you really need to do is look at your buy rounds and make sure that you don't have too many.
But he's got the good buy, the 13 round buy.
He does.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a benefit to having him. But the one player that I do want to just chuck out there for a bit of discussion, if you don't mind, is Luke Jackson. Luke Jackson is available as a forward ruck option. There is some chat at the moment around TDK and whether or not he is going to be up and going. So he could be an option that you bring in as a forward. Don't get rid of TDK and have there in your forward line or your ruck in order to cover.
Are you at all worried about Luke Jackson having some off-field issues? Who knows what they are, but talks of him going back to Melbourne and like what could that mean for his playing time and his mindset even?
I think, look, is there concerns? Maybe, but this is a guy that needs to go out there and prove that he is worth the money that these people are going to have to pay in order to get him.
That is true.
Wasted the money on both him and Sean Darcy so far.
Well,
so far the money's wasted.
And so the thing is,
who's their third ruck option?
Liam Reedy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But when it comes to Jackson, when he doesn't have Darcy there, he's a 90 to 100 guy.
Easy.
So when you think about what is TDK giving us, probably 60s 1 week, 100s the next. You know, this is a guy that could be available then in our forward line. Throw him there, have him for a few weeks to get you through the bye rounds, and you come out golden.
Mate,
so
St.
definitely
Kilda,
someone to look at.
pay half that money and get Luke Jackson instead of TDK. Well, it looks
my
like
God.
the shout.
Yeah, so I think have a look there. The other place I would look at is your underpriced defenders. So I think there are some
Underpriced or people who have lost money?
People that have lost money that are building back up.
That are going to get back up. Yeah.
Which there are a few.
Jack Sinclair is one of them. Yeah.
And make sure that you've got, you know, a bit of a value mindset here. You don't need to be paying top dollar in order to get the absolute best player in, i.e. Lockie Whitfield. You can make that upgrade, but just make sure that you can keep your cadence going because we're going to keep upgrading. Yeah. We're about to come into the buy rounds where we get 3 trades per week and you want to make the most of that. So just have a look at what your options are in terms of where you align and go from there.
Yeah, you want to kind of try and come out of the buy rounds with as little rookies as possible on field.
Yeah.
And the other side of that is make sure that you use the 3 trades to fix up in the buy rounds, fix up
those dead
your
rookies.
bench.
Yeah.
You don't need to do it now. You need to focus on getting players on field so you have strong points throughout that period. And then through the buy rounds, you can fix them up 2 at a time and come out with a much better team.
All right. Well, we won't do cash cows this week because our cash cow king is MIA. But I will mention a couple of players, obviously, that are doing well in the VFL that hopefully could see their debut or at least maybe get a game soon. So obviously Coleman has had 2 weeks in the VFL.
Yeah.
Will be back this week more than likely.
And he's underpriced because he didn't play much last
521,
year.
because he did the ACL in round 1 last year.
Yep.
So another one, you got Luke Kennedy as a forward for the Bulldogs, is quietly putting on a great performance down at Doggery. Not the Cattery, the Doggery. The Doggery.
To rival the Cattery,
to rival the Cattery, exactly. So he's done quite well there. Zach Johnson, who I've mentioned in the last couple of weeks, again, still averaging 30 disposals down for you guys, but with who have you got out? Sorry, Lewis Hayes now out.
Lewis Hayes, we've got Ridley out.
Yeah, so quite tall. So you probably might not go small, and Zach Johnson's kind of a midfield player and smaller. So maybe bring in a Laverde, but hopefully if not, Zach Johnson's right on that cusp. George Stevens, again, who I'll mention again every week, basically until he gets a game at the Cattery, not the Doggery. Ben Camporelli, again, is clearly doing much better than Lucas down in the VFL. Put on another 34 disposals down there. Again, Carlton getting injuries like the Bombers, maybe not quite as many. Yeah. Closing in on debut there. Leo Lombard is a test this week.
He's coming back.
He's coming back. The bomber, the former Burleigh bomber. So, but hopefully
I was going to say what, and then I remembered.
Hopefully could be getting a game back in the Suns Academy squad there soon.
If you want to be a bomber, there's a team.
Hey, whoa.
No.
Anyway, though, there's just a few players that are looking on the cusp there. A few injury reports, so as well, I'll just jump straight into that. Blake Acres is out for the week.
Yeah,
not big name, but owned by a few people.
Yeah, big deal for draft.
Big deal for draft. Yes. Lewis Hayes is obviously, unfortunately, out for the season, which we just mentioned. The nod, Nathan O'Driscoll. Unfortunately, should have been back this week, but pulled up kind of lame after his kind of waffle return and will be out for at least 1 more week. As soon as this guy's back in and named, I think you got to bring that guy in. He was averaging 82, 83, valued at like a 50 still or a 60, something there like that. Could be another great player to bring in. And Callum Mills, again, even though I swear to God, this guy's meant to come back every week at this point from Sydney, is a test once again. But who knows what they're going to do with their injury concerns. They need wins, Sydney, but they also don't want to risk players like Mills and Amadi, who I didn't even mention, who are just both recovering off injuries and they could get injured again. So that's really about it, though.
We had Berry as well with a concussion.
Or Barry with the concussion as well. Yeah.
So that's going to open the door for Kadeen Coleman. But that's the injury.
Yep.
We usually move on to MRO, but the only MRO action was that there was a attempted knock the ball forward by Zach Merritt, and it didn't really eventuate anything. So
I thought you were going to say there was an attempt at that teenager that tried to bring in a gun and
a fake gun and a knife to Marvel, to the Bombers game, actually.
I did not know that.
Yeah. No, so he didn't even have a ticket. He was just like loitering around the front, apparently, and trying to get in. Crazy.
Okay, well, that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
But not too much in the MRO, which is a bit interesting considering everybody in the league got fined last week.
Mate, there's no biff. They were trying to make up for biff. Yeah. No biff, too much biff.
They were like, pocket's a little light this week.
Yeah, shit. Yeah. Well, also who knows, maybe the umpires were quite blind this week from what we're hearing. So with the no tripping calls and everything else that happened. So
you mean when you trip Cosy Pickett?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, that would normally take us into MRO, but we're not going there. So we're going to go to just the tip. Nick, lead us through just the tip.
Just the tips, yes. So we've got the Gold Coast Suns playing Hawthorn. So me versus Hawko first up.
I'd love to see you versus Hawko.
I've gone the Suns up in Northern Territory, and I've gone by 33 points.
33 points. I've gone the Suns by 10.
Yep. I mean, it's. I'm going to go with my heart here and go Hawthorn, but it's going to be a tough game. We're missing Meek, missing Gunston, missing a few players, a lot of managed players. Again, we don't want to make the travel. Like it's a 3-minute plane trip for Gold Coast.
And they'd never let Collingwood play
Sydney teams. Yeah. Okay, we're not Collingwood, so yeah. But yeah, I've got Hawthorn by.
Does Willie Rioli like Collingwood?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, according to Dr. Ken, he still might not be playing this week, but I think we can safely say he'll be playing. But yeah, I've gone Hawthorn by 9.
Very nice.
Sydney Carlton.
Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney
Who
for
knows
sure.
with this one? I don't know what's going to happen. Well, who knows what Carlton team we're going to have?
At the SCG, I think.
It's got to be a bounce back from the Swans. I mean, Carlton, I think there was some stats of how many teams have beaten in the top 12 in the last year. It's 0, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, Swans for me.
Swans for me.
Collingwood taking on Kawana, which is the German Ferrets. Adelaide.
It is a Doug Nichols round as well, over 2 rounds this year. So 10 and 11, which is why Kawana is there.
I'm going to go the Crows.
Kawana,
sorry.
I'm going Collingwood.
I'm going Collingwood.
All right. Port Adelaide versus Geelong or
Yarrapulti versus Geelong Cats. I'm going Geelong here.
I'm going Geelong as well.
I just don't know how you stop them. They're a formidable team at the moment.
I don't know how to say Yarrapulti. If I was Ryan, so he's probably over.
He probably is.
So glad he's not here.
GWS taking on Walyup.
Well, you don't want to say it real quick.
Walyup.
Yeah.
GWS taking on Walyup.
And it's GWS for me.
I think
GWS for me.
GWS,
Let's keep that moving. Western Bulldogs taking on Essendon. I'm gonna
go with the Doggery.
I'm gonna go with the Doggery.
The Doggery, yeah.
The Doggery in full effect.
Yeah.
Richmond taking on North.
I'm gonna go North here, and
I'm going North.
It's because I want my Uncle Andy to have a win this year, but also want you to beat Ryan and him have to make you a steak or whatever you want.
I'm gonna have to buy him a steak. Realistically, I'm probably thinking
he might be cooked. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've decided I'm going to buy him 3 of the $15 steaks.
Wow, no, we're not letting you.
And Ryan's not going to find us out until later because he doesn't listen back to the podcast.
Here you go, Ryan. If you listen to this and call this episode out and say this, you'll have to buy your.
You have to buy you one steak.
I'll actually get you 1 steak.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're getting 3 $15 ones.
Jesus. Anyway, go. Hopefully, North Melbourne pulls that off. They're on 2 points now, so they're not on 0. So that's something.
Yeah.
Lions and Nam.
Yeah, we're going Lions here. Sure, it's at home.
Lions,
yeah.
And then last game.
Okay, who wants to be brave enough to take this one on?
Walid Marawa versus
Marrow.
Euro. Yeah. Euro.
And
I'm going Euro in this one.
I'm going the Saints.
Saints. Yeah.
It's easy to say, yeah. I'm going Euroke.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's partly why I'm going it. The other reason is that they're actually a good team taking on Witches Hats. So.
That's the real team. Yeah.
Is that what? No, I don't mean it.
Don't even know.
Yeah. So Wally Marawa, all the best to you. But St Kilda, hopefully you get the win.
Yeah.
And that is our tips for the week. Let us know how you're going. Who are you bringing in this weekend? Maybe some of the options you're considering, and go from there.
All right. Well, thanks all for listening as per usual. Thanks for watching if you're doing that as well. And we'll be back for round 10 review, round 11 preview, and Mate, we're edging closer to that bye rounds.
And if you are listening, maybe go out and check out the YouTube channel. Give us a couple of views there.
Yeah.
Send us a question. Thanks. See ya.
Too easy.
Laters.